One, two, three. Welcome to Off the Rails, a podcast where we talk about anything and everything but trying to stay on topic. My name is Justin.
And I'm Natasia.
And today's topic is another r/video. So today we're going to be reading a little Reddit post this time from r/DecidingToBeBetter. It's a very cute, wholesome page where everyone's like, help me become a better person. I think a lot of people should be on this page because a lot of people aren't the best. Okay, so ready, Natasia. Strap on in.
Yes.
I'm about to read this post. All right. This post was posted a day ago, and the title is How Do I Say Hi? This The school year started a bit ago, and I'm trying to build some meaningful relationships. I didn't bother doing this during my freshman and sophomore year, and junior year was completely online, so I didn't get the chance. I've become a lot more confident since I started high school, and I have no problem actually talking to people. I also have a lot more opportunities to talk to people because I'm captain of the boys' tennis team and manager for girls. Hold up. Okay. But I'm having a hard time trying to reach out to people without them taking the initiative. So I'm trying to do that. There's a junior I know that just transferred to my school this year because her parents moved. It's kind of a long story as to why I know her in the first place, but she's a great person, really funny and outgoing. It seems like she hasn't made any friends at this school, so I wanted to go and just say hi to her. I thought it'd be really easy just to go up and say hi. Plus, I'm not really socially awkward anymore. The problem is I literally can't. I walked by her 4 times just trying to say hi. She looked up at me once, but I don't think she recognized me because I changed a lot since the last time I saw her. I thought my social anxiety was gone, but this just sucks. I want to just go up and talk to her, but when I pass her, I freeze up. And this is one of the first times I've wanted to fix my issues, but I actually don't know how. Thanks.
Okay, I know like that the tanks at the
No, that's just me. So how can we help this poor boy out?
Okay. So I feel like I also relate to this just because like I hate like talking to people and stuff unless I know them. How do you feel about this? Like do you also like have a hard time like talking to like new people or
I think it's easier for me. Wait, let's take a look at our friend group, right? I think out of all the people, I'm probably the best at just like talking to people, like random people out of our friend group. Example, our friend Abby, like I was the one who was like, "Hey girl, want to come over?" and stuff like that.
that's very circumstantial. I think Justin is biased towards himself.
Okay, but I do think like generally I'm okay with like saying hello to people like without much.
Okay, there doesn't need to be any comparison. You can just say
I'm just
that
saying that
you are.
I do think I'm better than you.
Okay, no, that's also not true.
What?
Like Justin, you can just be good at it. You don't have to be like better than people.
I didn't say better than people, I said better than you.
All right. Okay. So carry on.
Okay, so since you even said you have an issue with this. Okay, so if you wanted to say hi to someone, what are the certain circumstances that need to be there in order for you to say hi to them?
I mean, like, if I'm within like a not a close friend in a classroom, like if we're in the same class and like we both like don't really have anyone to talk to, like I'm more than happy to like talk to them and like, I'll just like try and interact with them and stuff. But if they're not giving me the same kind of energy that I'm giving them, like they're not trying as hard, then I'll kind of like give up on it. And also it's just nice to have another person like reciprocate the same kind of like effort. So I mean,
Yes.
it's like situational. Like if I have to talk to them, then I will talk to them. Like it's not a big deal. But
Mhm.
like I don't just like randomly go up to people and just start talking to them. Like I feel that's just like not something I do.
Okay. Okay. All right. But okay, let's put ourselves in our friends' shoes. So like they, for however reason, already know the person, but like it sounds like the girl doesn't really know that they know her. Cause
Hmm.
like he said like that he like changed a lot since the last time he saw her. So he's like, I feel like there's something he can work with. I also feel like saying hi. Okay, like since it's a guy and a girl, this makes like things slightly more complicated. I was gonna say like you should just like DM her and be like, hey, like I don't know if you remember me from
Yeah, I
whatever,
feel like that's
whenever.
good. Okay, I okay, so I've like talked about this with like my friends and like my parents and stuff normally. Like I tell my parents
Mhm.
like pretty much everything about my life. Um and like, it's actually like when I think about it, it's like if I were the other person, what would I want?
Yeah.
Like me, like okay, in this situation, this guy who wrote this post, he's trying to get the attention of the girl and like start a conversation and stuff. So if I were him, I would think like if I were the girl, I would want like people to reach out to me, right? Like it's always nice to like have people like say hi to you and stuff, and like people like generally appreciate that kind of stuff. So like I'm thinking like you don't have to overthink it. So like I agree, like if he just like sends a message to her like on Instagram, like or something like that, like I feel like that's fine. And
Yes.
it doesn't have to be like that big of a deal
Yeah.
also.
Like okay, like he could be like, hey, like I don't know if you remember me, but like I remember you, blah 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 blah. And then now you have like that context behind like why you're like interacting with her.
Mhm.
And then like you can become comfortable via the screen, right? And then once y'all are like, okay, like this isn't a total stranger, I have no idea who this person is, you then can proceed to like, I don't know, like you don't even have to like verbally say hi to her. You can like wave to her in the hallways as you're passing. And then slowly but surely get your way up to saying hi.
Mhm.
Cause I feel like, all right, I do think it's kind of weird if you just like pop up without and be like, hey, like in the middle of the like
But like isn't that
hallway.
kind of okay. I'm not saying like you should just randomly like do that or just say like hi out of like with no context because obviously that's weird. But like also okay, this is like kind of like not related but sort of related, but like if you like start a relationship like online, like you just like text and then you get comfortable texting, like I feel like that's kind of hard to then transition and apply that to real life and like
Mm,
start a relationship like face to face,
hmm.
because like I think like when you're just like texting someone or like this is usually like snapping people, like it's just really weird like when you try and talk to them in person because then it's just not the same. You don't have like time to think about what you're going to say and stuff like
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying,
Like
but
that's kind of yeah.
but like I'm just saying like he's like not like it seems like he's kind of like scared to like talk to her because like it's either like he doesn't know what like how he's gonna come off as or like he's just I don't know. I think it's just easier if you know the person via online if you're ever gonna talk to them IRL. Like imagine, okay, would you rather be be partnered? Like you have this project due and it's a partners and your teacher's assigning partners. Would you rather be partnered with someone you've never talked to or someone you've talked to online?
Well, Justin, that's kind of unfair because you've already talked to the person like online, so like obviously you'll want to be with them.
Precisely. So
So what does that mean?
if we put it in this context, I feel like if he wants to say hi to her, he can like build up some, like, it's not even like a friendship, but more like an acquaintance with this person via the
Okay, but
DMs.
how did this person say that he knew her?
He doesn't, he said, and I quote, "It's kind of a long story as to why I know her in the first place, but she's a great person, really funny and outgoing." So he didn't even say how he knows her. Kind
Okay,
of
so that's
sus.
yeah, I was gonna say because okay,
Okay, but he says, she looked up at me once, but I don't think she recognized me because I changed a lot since I last saw her. So it's giving me very much like old friendship.
it's giving me like he knows her from other people and seen her around, but has literally never talked to her.
Okay, we can't assume that. I'm sure he's a reasonable person. Just
No,
okay.
if he did not provide context, he said it's a long story instead of like, oh, I like used to know her or like we used to be friends but not anymore. Like if it was that case, he would have said it. So I'm getting like really suspicious vibes, but like that's
Okay,
not the
we'll
point.
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's just assume it's a cute trope where like old friends forget about each other's existence and then one friend remembers and the other one doesn't really remember, therefore they're at this like
Is that a trope? I don't ever I like have never forgotten a friend that I've had.
I made a new trope anyway. Okay,
Okay.
but let's just assume he's not a creep. Or let's
Yeah.
just assume that they have interacted when they were like younger. Okay, this person's also a senior, like
Okay.
our grade, right? So like just full send, like last year you're probably ever going to see her.
Yeah, true, right? Like just don't don't care. Like just do what you want this year because then you're like never going to see these people ever again.
True. I think every senior needs to learn how to like care, like be more enthusiastic with interacting with the people in your grade, because like this is literally the last time you're ever going to see them probably. And like you should take more risk with like talking to different people or like making new friendships, because even if it's a new friendship senior year, like you don't know where that's going to go, right?
Yeah, and then you can have like the time of your life. So I mean, like we've probably already like talked about this already. We're just beating a dead horse, basically. But like it's true though. I mean, I have yet to put that into practice, but I would really love for you guys to do that.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of this person, I think it sounds like they knew each other well, because like I don't know if he would say she's a great person, really funny and outgoing, if they didn't know each other relatively okay in the past. Um like so I think that it is very possible that even if he just like says like, even if like in real life he's like, "Hey, do you remember me from insert context?" Like in real life, I feel like she'd be like, "Oh my goodness, bestie."
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he could literally just go up to her and say that.
True. I but
Yeah.
but okay, but this person says that he has a
Okay,
little
but
bit
there are
of,
people who have like social anxieties. So, you know what? I'm not invalidating that. But maybe for this he literally like might be a creep, but
Oh, we're gonna assume that he isn't.
I know, but like just want to protect all girls.
Yes, girls support girls. I think no. I think if he isn't, if if this person who wrote this post happens to listen to this episode, if you are not a creep and you actually like talk to her in the past, I feel like you can just use that to your advantage and be like, hey, do you remember me? And you can do that IRL or via the DMs as long as you don't come off as a weird person via the DMs.
Correct. I
Because
agree.
okay, I'm gonna like sidetrack a little bit. Like if a guy DMs you, like, and it's a guy you like never talk to, would you assume that he's like trying to get in your pants?
I mean, if it was just like a random like hey or like something like that.
Not the hey
Like
F boy
okay, it's just like
face.
really bad. I think it's just because like over text like you can't really like communicate like your tone of voice or like
Agreed.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there are like so many ways that like your messages can get like misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
And so okay, this has happened before to me and I like and yes, I did think that they were like trying to get something for me. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but like that's just how I felt. And then I didn't respond. He said hey and then I didn't respond and then he I think he like unfriended me. I
No, he
was
was
like
definitely trying to get in your pants then.
so like what I'm saying isn't like wrong, but not all I'm not gonna say it.
No, say
Like
it. Say it.
no, I'm not because it's not true.
What's not true?
Um anyways. So in short, in summary, in conclusion,
Okay.
yes.
So
I do think if like guys like randomly like reach out, like it's
okay.
kind of suspicious. And then my first thought will be like, what does he want? Like in a
Mm,
bad way. Like
mm,
what?
mm. So it's never in like
Like I
if
don't
it's
know. I
just
think I
if
just
it's
do
just a
that to
random dude. I feel like that makes sense
yeah,
though.
like I don't know like why he would want to talk to me. Like you just gotta assume,
Okay.
you know? Unless he follows up, then I don't know.
Okay.
Or
So
like,
let's
you know what? I think if somebody does randomly text you, you shouldn't just like not respond like I did. You should just be like, hello, like what's up? What do you want? But like in a
agree.
nice way.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Personally, I think that first of all, no one has ever slid in my DMs, but but
That's
I
not
think
true.
no. Wait, I need to think. But before I think, um, in terms of women, I feel like they are like a lot more women are targeted via men sliding into the DMs. Therefore, there is a pre-existing belief that all men who say "hey" and that's it, and they're like trying to get in your pants. That makes sense to me. So for this person, my guy, bro, um, I highly suggest you don't just say hey, or if you snap, don't do half the face.
Oh
And
yeah.
write hey
I don't
because
like that.
that's like really bad. um
Like
like when they're like, what are you doing? Like, no. Like, okay.
yeah, it's just like really
Your opening
off-putting.
line has to be a sentence. A full sentence with an independent clause. That's what it needs to be.
If you're like totally randomly like contacting the other person.
Yes. Or else it's just weird. um yeah, it's just
We
weird.
digress.
Yeah. Um Don't send half face because that is a red flag to a lot of people. Don't send like top of head. Send your full face. Because you also said that this person that you don't
Might not
think,
recognize.
yeah, you don't think she recognized you, so therefore you should send your whole face so then that your face is in her head
Maybe
now.
she will recognize you.
Another pro to sending a full face is that she might just recognize you once she sees your whole face, because you'd probably have your mask on, right? I'm assuming you had your mask on the last
Unless
time
you're
you
in your
saw her.
house. Oh yeah, yeah. True. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're in person and she like looked up at you, you probably had your mask on if you're in a state that requires mask.
Yeah,
Um
right.
or if you're like in anywhere that requires a
So
mask
like
to go to
I we
school.
we don't blame her for like
Yeah.
I mean,
It
this is
okay.
very hard to go off of.
Yes. You're not giving me much to work with. You're not giving us much to work with. There's like little context to the backstory. But there are many possibilities of how she's feeling. Number one is that she might have not recognized you because you have a mask on and you might have misinterpreted the way she looked up. Number two, she might actually like remember you, or like,
But like also she's a junior, so like maybe she's like doesn't
okay,
want to talk to a senior, maybe. I don't know.
no, pause, because we're going back to the sus thing. How does a senior know a junior from the past?
Okay. Okay, moving on.
Benefit of the doubt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So overall, for any guy listening, if you don't want to initiate a conversation with anyone, but also like if you're trying to initiate a conversation with a girl, they might seem like you're coming on to them. Um, but I digress. Uh, you must, like, if you're gonna text them, send a snap, DM them, like you need to appear as a friend first before a love interest, if that makes sense. Whatever
Okay,
your
but he didn't even
intentions
say he
are.
wanted to be her love
He wants,
interest.
yeah, he wants to be like her friend for all I know. I really want to know the context and the backstory of their
Context is very important. Normalize context, guys.
normalized context. Um, but overall, I think that this guy should, if he's too scared to say, like, hey, do you remember me IRL? You can easily, that's such a good like opening line for
And
a
then
text
there's
slash
already like
DM.
so much to talk about already. Like
You can
it's just
like imagine like reminiscing about like the past in your DMs of her.
yes,
And then
adorable.
you can like easily slide that as like, hey, do you want to make new memories in the present? Don't do that. Don't do
Okay,
that.
maybe like don't do that, but
Don't do
do
that.
everything else we
Do
said
everything else. Um,
except that.
yeah. For guys, not this person who finds it hard to say hi to girls slash other people without seeming like they're coming on. Natasha, any tips of how to not, like, what does a girl seem like coming on as? Like, oh, like this person's coming on to me. How do you avoid doing that?
I don't know, just be like a little bit interesting. Like don't just say hey, don't just say like what are you doing? Like um I don't know. Like just have something like just like be interesting. Cause then it's like then they'll like want to stamp you back or like text you back or do whatever it is. Like respond basically. I don't know. Like just have your own little flair.
I completely agree. And I hope all of our advice helped you, my guy. Just like, yeah, just like reach out, be your, be you. And if she doesn't accept you for
And
you, then she's not worth it. Anyways, guys,
move on and make another friend.
true. There's so many people at school that you can talk to. And
Mhm.
like maybe this girl is not even worth it, but who knows? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Especially if the guy who posted this Reddit post is listening. We hoped our advice helped you and other men around the world aspiring to say hi to a girl they once knew in the past. And yeah, I hope y'all had fun listening to us give it unlicensed advice to this Reddit post. And Chelsea, any closing words, closing statements?
No.
If you want to follow us,
have a good week.
If you want to follow us on Instagram, you can follow us at offtherails.pod. And if you want to follow us personally, you can follow me at justin.tran with 2 T's in the Justin.
And you can follow me at Natasha Roach.
It's just her name. Thank you guys for listening. I really hope that you talk to her IRL / in the DMs, but don't sound like a creep. Adios, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.